Today I'd like to focus on a story that's gaining quite a bit of traction and controversy, the Lia Thomas story. For those that may not know who or what this is, Lia Thomas is a transgender female who competes in female swimming leagues. She has completely dominated most of the competition and recently won the NCAA swimming competition. She is a biological male and therefore the controversy is obvious. The majority of parents, swimmers, and people include that this isn't fair at all for the biological women in sports. And the activists, the extremists, the politicians say it's a giant step for equality and inclusion. So what I wanted to do today was focus more on the facts versus the opinions. I will bring my opinions at the end of this video, as I normally do, but for now, I want to look at some facts. So we're going to just take a look at some studies and some science. For those that don't like this and are offended, I'm just going to say this is scientific evidence, so, we can kind of weed out the people who are extremist activists and aren't actually fair in their thinking and don't want to be intellectually honest. And for the rest of us, you can continue watching and we can kind of look at the reasons why this is scientifically preposterous. I wanted to go over this study here from NCBI about a circulating testosterone as the hormonal basis of sex differences in athletic performance. Now this thing's pretty long, you can check it out yourself if you're interested. Some of the essential points that was pointed out was that it is widely accepted that elite athletic competition should have separate male and female events, which I think is quite obvious. From male puberty onward, the sex difference in athletic performance emerges as circulating testosterone concentrations rise as the testes produce 30 times more testosterone than before puberty, resulting in men having 15 to 20-fold greater circulating testosterone than children or women at any age. So that's kind of the basis of it. Now I'm going to go down here and let's check out one of the quotes here. The striking male postpubertal increase in circulating testosterone provides a major ongoing cumulative and durable physical advantage in sporting contests by creating larger and stronger bones, greater muscle mass and strength, and higher circulating hemoglobin, as well as possible psychological behavior differences. Okay, so this is from the study, and then so this study goes through testosterone and the effects it has on muscle here. So the first one's muscle. It has been known since ancient times that castration influences muscle function. So when men were castrated, they lost muscle. So they went through, I'm not going to go through the study, it's right here, which just, that's kind of boring for most people. I just want to go through the key points. So so one of the things is muscle, right? Hemoglobin. So hemoglobin, it is well known that the levels of circulating hemoglobin are androgen dependent and consequently higher in men than women by 12% on average. So what hemoglobin does is it will increase, it says right here, increase oxygen transport from lungs to tissues, right? That means you can do more exercise and more aerobic type stuff, right? In layman's terms, right? Bones, right? There's extensive experimental evidence from genetic mouse models showing that the sex differences in bone size, mass, and function are due to sex difference in circulating testosterone. I mean, it's also like observational data. Men have distinctly greater bone size strength. This is scientific talk. Insane. You can look at a man and you can look at a woman and you can see that men are stronger and bigger and faster, right? On average, obviously. But you take the average man and the average woman, there's no contest at all. Men are generally taller, they have more growth hormone. So anyway, so this is the science behind it. If you don't like this is just science, right? And you can't argue with it unless you want to be intellectually dishonest, which if that's the case, I don't want to talk to you anyway because there's no talking. The next thing I wanted to quickly point out, just to make sure that things are a little bit balanced, is one of the biggest arguments that the proponents for this kind of stuff give is that once a man is going through hormone treatment of any sorts, he loses all his advantage, strength, and ability over women. So here is a study I found in Sports Medicine. Basically, I'm just going to go to the conclusion. Here's the study, you can read if you want. The conclusion is, in trans women, so that's men who are becoming a woman, hormone therapy rapidly reduces HGB to levels seen in cisgender women. In contrast, hormone therapy decreases strength, LBM, and muscle area, yet values remain above that observed in cisgender women, even after 36 months. Okay, so what this is saying is that even going through hormone treatment, even after 36 months, which is 3 years, they are stronger and they have more muscle than cisgender women. And for those of you who don't know what cisgender means, because it is a made-up term, it means biological women, straight biological women. So there is an advantage even after 3 full years of hormone treatment. And Lia Thomas has not, I don't know if she's going through, I don't know if he's going through hormone treatment or not, but he hasn't been doing it for 3 years, and even if he did, he still would be stronger and faster than the women. So, I mean, it's clearly evidenced here. So I just wanted to go over that argument to debunk it. All right. Here's the opinion section that I wanted to just discuss before. Here's the opinion section that I wanted to discuss. Okay, now I'm going to transition to my opinions on this subject. Now that you've heard and seen the basic scientific facts, I mean, I could pull out dozens more articles because it's just extremely established. The science behind like testosterone, men and women's physique, that kind of stuff. It's only in question because of recent political upstanding and political narratives that we need to be aware of. So, my opinion is that gender ideology, I believe, is going to be the number one issue that we have to contend with as a Western society. I think that there's many issues, a great many, and I'm not fully hopeful of our society at the moment. I think we are going down a hill or a cliff that leads nowhere good. But I think that this is one of the key fights that we are going to have. The idea that biology doesn't really matter is completely out of the realm of reality, and you can't beat reality. It always catches up to you. You can't jump off a cliff and not die. Now, it might take you 20 seconds, 10 seconds, but you're going to die. And during that 10 or 20 seconds, you could convince yourself that you won't die, but you will. And it's the exact same thing here. Biology is something that is real, and we are completely destroying our society for this fantasy world that we live in. And I believe that it's due to a lack of discipline, a lack of morals, a lack of ethics, a lack of integrity, a lack of identity. And so, I mean, I can't go into all the issues and problems and solutions because that would take... Honestly, that's what my channel here is dedicated to. So I think this is a big deal. That's why I wanted to point all this out. For anyone who's on the fence, this you have to start speaking against this stuff. You have to. Women's sports is being completely obliterated. You don't hear about females becoming males and issues in sports because they don't have any advantages. They won't win, right? There's no problem there. But it is a big problem when males compete with females. A big problem. It will completely destroy women's sports. And that's not even the tip of the iceberg. The military is being overrun with this stuff too. And the military is people that actually fight real wars, right? There is some pretty huge consequences to this. Not let alone child cognitive disorders and mental issues that will arise because of this stuff. 10 years ago, we would laugh when we heard university lectures and these, viral clips that went around about this gender stuff, and we'd just laugh and say it's nonsense, majority of people. And now it's no longer nonsense. It is nonsense, but it's no longer nonsense because now it's part of our culture, and now it's being pushed by everyone who's powerful. So we need to fight this, and you can't fight it with capitulating. You can't give them an inch, right? You respect people. Obviously, if someone's gay or trans, you should respect them in the idea that they are a human being. You don't have to respect what they do or what they say. That respect is earned. But you do have to respect them as a human, right? And in a civil society, you treat people as nice as you can from what they warrant, right? So if I had a friend who was a transgender male and he wanted to be called a he in private, I would do that in civility, right? But in public, I'm not doing it, right? Because that's not true. It's not actual truth. And so we need to really we need to pick a line in the sand and not cross it. Because one thing that our side, I guess my side, does is we give ground because we just want to be left alone. We want to be left alone. We want to raise our families. We want to live a good life. And, you know, we can't do that anymore because our lives are being completely destroyed and our kids are being destroyed and brainwashed into this kind of stuff from a very young age. You got to be very diligent. So that's my opinion. I think it's very important. And so, anyway, hope you enjoyed this video, and like and subscribe, and please comment because I really love the dialogue. Thanks.